Hey.
Hey there, Nudge.
Time Lord's here, two fat asses, because Michael the Weave is part of the busy with his KKK. He's not. Maybe. I don't know. He might be.
He said the N-word like 3 times, so now he's part of the KKK officially.
He doesn't have the N-word pass.
Yeah, no. But, so, we are going to review Endgame.
Endgame spoilers ahead.
Well, of course there's Endgame spoilers ahead. Here, let's just do this.
I don't care. People get pissy in the comments if they ever see this.
Here, scoot over a bit so
I'm
that
gonna leave a
you can...
hateful comment saying, "Why did you spoil Endgame?"
Scoot up.
Oh my God.
Okay, so, from here on out, we are going to be talking about Endgame.
Spoilers.
This is a big spoiler warning. If you have not seen Endgame, then you really should. And even if you don't like that many Marvel...
Yeah,
Even if you don't like Marvel movies, I'd still see it anyway, because I'd see Infinity War and Endgame, because it's really good.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about it now.
So wait, if you have not... Wait, hold on, I'm going to do something. If you've not seen it, you're not going to want to know that Thanos dies in the beginning of the movie, like, really close to the beginning. Like,
yeah, I know. No, but we
head.
need to, like, go play by play. So, very beginning, we get a shock of... Hold on.
Shot.
Let me try that again. We get a shot of Hawkeye training his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Hawkeye.
And he calls her Hawkeye, which really got me in the feels, because... what are you doing?
If I fell.
Because I like Hawkeye. But...
What?
But, just after...
They basically get...
Shut up!
Why?
I'm talking!
Why? I'm already talking.
Yes, but you gotta go through it play by play.
But like,
so,
after, then his wife...
His wife makes him turn around, and then you hear some thunder off in the distance. Oh yeah, she talks about mayonnaise. He turns around, and his daughter has been snapped. His daughter got snapped away by... And you can see, like, the dust just kind of... Ooh, ladybug. Ladybug here.
Is it dead?
No, it's not dead. That's not even a ladybug.
It's like an imposter ladybug.
Yeah. Anyway.
We don't like your kind here.
But, yeah, his daughter gets dusted, and you can just see her dust kind of floating off, in the air. Then he turns around, and you see the dust of his wife and his child. Yeah, his entire family gets dusted. So... that was the beginning, and that hit me hard. I didn't like that. And then, you got a happy scene of, because at the end of Infinity War, the last people on Titan were Nebula and Stark. So you get a kind of pretty...
happy.
Yeah, because you get to see Stark training Gamora how to play finger football. And then he...
you mean Nebula?
Nebula, not Gamora.
Yeah, and then it goes after that.
And then he starts, like, a transmission to Pepper Potts.
That's depressing.
Yeah, he says,
like, I'm gonna
food
die.
runs out in 48 hours.
Oxygen runs out next morning.
Yeah, oxygen runs out tomorrow morning.
Okay,
And
then...
the CGI on Tony Stark at the beginning of the movie was really good, because, for those of you who don't know, they did CGI to make Tony Stark and Steve Rogers look really skinny. And, because... you know, Steve Rogers was really skinny before he got that super soldier serum. And Tony Stark's skinny because he's been food deprived. And you really see Nebula and Stark make a bond, because Nebula is helping Stark fix their engine and his injuries, and Nebula refuses to eat food because she doesn't really need it. I mean, she's a cyborg, so...
So yeah,
right as he ends the transmission, Captain Marvel comes up and saves their asses. Captain Thought. No, I like Captain Marvel. I like Captain Marvel in Endgame, but not in her movie.
Yeah. I like the Marvel. I like the movie. It's pretty good.
I liked it. It's just Captain Marvel's personality flip-flopped a lot. So, Captain Marvel comes and takes their ship back to Earth. You get to see Captain America shave after the events of Infinity War. Hey, all my friends and family just died. I should shave. Like, seriously, that's the first thing you thought of? Ah, god damn it.
Let's just not talk about everything flow. Because then this movie, it's going to be a shitty version of Endgame where just two fat asses tell you everything that happens.
Yeah, and then
Black Widow.
They're all sad.
And they do transmissions.
Yeah.
And then they just and then they show footage of like, the post-snap area.
Yeah, and
then New York, a post-snap New York.
And Tony Stark and Steve Rogers really hit it out after he gets in there, because he's mad, because in Age of Ultron, Tony Stark says we'll lose. And Steve Rogers says we'll do that together too. They didn't lose together. Tony Stark and Spider-Man were completely off-world, while the others were on Earth. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Stop.
But after that, so like then it cuts to San Francisco.
No.
We're not doing every tiny thing.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Okay, so
it's already hit over how
I don't care.
fast you want it.
I don't care.
Dude, we're not gonna.
We're gonna explain the entire movie.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. We're not fucking cinema sins.
Yes, we are.
No, we might do an actual critique like that if we actually get a budget and we can show the movie in the background to give people more of a thing. We could just go over major stuff and just tell us like this would be a quick edit, and then we tell them what we thought about it. Sort of review is.
So basically, Thanos dies 5 minutes into, not 5 minutes, like 10 minutes into the movie. 5 years later, everyone's in not everyone. Steve Rogers is in a support group. We see Black Widow leading, basically, Captain Marvel's out in space because it's happening on every planet.
And then,
you got Rhodey and...
but then it cuts to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you get to a garage.
There's a rat in a garage. Because remember, at the end of Ant-Man, he's stuck in the quantum realm. So, in the garage, a rat presses a bunch of buttons. And he presses like 3 buttons. And, then, scoot over. And then, Ant-Man comes out of the, quantum tunnel. And then he goes to the Avengers base and explains, like, hey, time works different in the quantum realm, because it was only 5 hours for him when it was 5 years for them. It was only 5 hours for Ant-Man. So, he basically says, hey, we could use this as a time travel device. So then they go to Tony Stark, and they're like, hey, we can get our friends back. Oh yeah, by the way, in the beginning, funny moment, Tony Stark thinks Rocket is a Build-A-Bear. Yeah. But, they go to Tony Stark with this idea, who by now has married Pepper Potts, and has a daughter named Morgan, which, if you remember at the beginning of Infinity War, he said that he had a dream that they had a daughter named Morgan. And, he says that he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to have any part of it. So then, they find Bruce Banner.
And he's like...
Or Hulk. They went with the Professor Hulk route. For those of you who don't know, Professor Hulk in the comics is where Bruce Banner reconciles with Hulk and combines Bruce Banner's brain with Hulk's brawn. And he dabs. Hulk dabs. Hulk literally dabs. And then they try to make a rudimentary time travel device, which ends up...
doing a comic moment.
Yeah, Scott Lang turns into a baby, an old man, a teenager, and then finally back into him.
Yeah.
And then you get the meme where it's like, I see this as a complete success. But,
oh yeah, then they eventually seek out Thor.
Oh yeah.
This one is either the best or worst part of it.
He guessed it! Because before we went to watch it, about a day before we went to watch it, Max was like, hey, what if Thor wanted to play Fortnite with you? And I was like, that's never gonna happen. And we go to watch Endgame, and Thor, it's implied that Thor has played Fortnite. And he has a beer belly.
Oh, yeah, he's dumb sick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait, hold up, I'm gonna tell them about
Thor's the one that killed Thanos, though.
My experience. So I leave thinking, okay, this is probably gonna be a slow part. I come back in the theater, everyone's fucking talking Japanese.
Oh yeah. After they talk to Thor, they go get Hawkeye, who is now Ronan. In the comics, it's called Ronan. Why did you move over there? Hold on.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I thought that was funny. I walk in, I'm like, I walk into the fucking wrong movie?
Yeah. This is a lot better lighting
Oh
too.
my woo, sing woo.
Nani? And then he's like, half the people here got Thanos, you get me. And he kills a bunch of mob bosses that are basically terrorizing everyone after the snap. Can you not?
Why?
Just talk about the movie.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, and then Black Widow comes in and is like, hey, we can save your family and all. So he's like, oh, hell yeah. And he goes with them. And then Tony Stark, after seeing a picture of him and Peter Parker, of Spider-Man who got dusted.
Mr. Stark, I do not feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah. But then he does this, like, reverse not
They
thing.
basically did it, and then they have, like, the rule.
He figured out the secret to time travel
and then
using the quantum realm.
Then it was just like, oh, yeah, you gotta, like, to do this, you only have one shot. We have enough Pym particles to go.
His daughter
back
said
and
shit, which I really laughed.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because he figures it out,
He's
and he
like,
leans
"Shit."
back, and he's like, shit! And then it just goes to his daughter, shit! No, you can't say that word. Why not? Because your mom coined it. Coined what? Shit? Yes, she coined shit. Well, what are you doing? I'm doing some important shit! I like that.
So, yeah, so anyways, it gets just pretty...
Love you 3000!
Heh.
The entire movie, the entire runtime of the MCU is 3,000 minutes, so that's pretty cool.
But yeah, so anyways, they go back in time. It's like pretty sure two groups go to Manhattan.
No, yeah, one group.
One group.
Cap gets his shield back, by the way.
Oh yeah, Thor and Rocket go to Asgard.
Thor and Rocket go to Asgard. Nebula, Rhodey go to
the planet.
The planet with the Power Stone. Black Widow and Hawkeye go to Vormir. And Iron Man, Ant-Man, and Captain America are in New York in 2012 when the first Avengers took place.
Hulk.
Oh yeah, Hulk's there too.
Because he's doing another one to get the Mind Stone.
No.
They're trying to get the Captain America's trying to get the Tesseract.
Captain America's getting the Mind Stone.
Oh yeah, no, and then...
Ant-Man and Iron Man...
Wasn't the Mind Stone the one...
Ant-Man and Iron Man are gonna go get the Tesseract, which is the Space Stone.
Wasn't the Mind Stone...
Mind Stone is in Loki's staff.
Okay, and then they're trying to get
and then Hulk...
Time Stone.
And then
Hulk's
Bruce goes to get the Time Stone from...
From Caillou.
No.
It's Caillou. Female Caillou. She's a bald wizard lady.
The ancient one.
That's the easiest one to get. The easiest stone that they got.
Yeah, well, and then she explains time travel to them. Like, hey,
how
if you take the stones, it's gonna create an alternate dimension and leave us fucked. So, you need to return them, which is a big plot point at the end of the movie. And, so, Professor Hulk's like, yeah. Oh, and, you know what, happened is, Doctor Strange, why did you move over so much?
Why did you stand up?
Come back!
Why did you stand up?
Because you were moving over. No one. Okay, there we go. Anyway, that thing that happens to Doctor Strange at the beginning of the movie happens to Bruce Banner, and I thought that they were gonna make Hulk stand up because they're two different consciousnesses. So I thought that Hulk was gonna stand up and start wrecking on
Bruce,
the Ancient One. Because remember, Bruce is still like a ghost.
Yeah.
And
so anyways,
and then we go to them getting the we're just going to explain each them
and the
going.
Power Stone.
Yeah. No. We're just going to explain each group at a time. So we'll explain how they got the Tesseract. So Iron Man and Ant-Man go up and see the very end of the movie where they're all standing and up
in Stark Tower.
Yeah, in Stark Tower in front of Loki. So they're like, oh, okay, and then they give the Tesseract to Stark and the Mind Stone and Loki's staff to some of the future Hydra agents, which are really part of S.H.I.E.L.D., which are really Hydra agents.
Oh yeah, and then Captain America gets a suitcase by whispering, "Hail Hydra."
Yeah, he gets the suitcase by whispering, "Hail Hydra," into one of their ears. And it was in an elevator, too. So remember that scene in Winter Soldier when he went ham on him? That's what I thought was going to happen. But no, he just whispered in his ear, "Hail Hydra." And
you fell on America's butt.
We'll get to that.
That was before that.
No, that was after.
No, it was before.
No, because it was after he got the staff.
Sneaking.
No, it was after he got the staff.
Sneaking.
It was after he got.
No, the first mention of it was because.
Ant-Man looks at old Captain America's ass. Well, I guess technically new Cap. Okay, so he looks at the Captain America from Avengers 1, and Tony Stark is like, "That is not America's ass." And then Scott Lang is like, "I really think that is America's ass. God bless America, sir, and God bless you, Cap. That is America's ass." And
then
Captain America is a little creeped out by this.
Then all that happens, so something happens.
Oh yeah,
Hulk has to walk down.
Hulk has to walk down the stairs.
I thought it was just gonna be a comedic moment, or it's just gonna be like Hulk being pissed off, but that plays into it. So the reason why Scott Lang went to New York is because Tony Stark still had the arc reactor in the first Avengers, so Scott Lang has to go inside the arc reactor and give him like a
minor heart palpitations, and that doesn't sound so minor. So he unplugs something. Stark goes down. Scott jumps out of it and pushes the suitcase with the Tesseract away. New Tony starts to walk away, and then Hulk. What's really cool is that Thor took his hammer and did a what's it called? Those little electric things. The ones that you rub together. Clear.
Oh yeah, defibrillation.
Defibrillator. Yeah, he uses his hammer as a defibrillator.
So anyways, yeah, and then
Hulk comes down the stairs.
Going stairs.
No stairs. Hulk, no stairs.
And then
pushes Tony Stark over. Tony Stark drops the Tesseract and it opens in front of Loki. Loki just bends down, picks up the Tesseract, and teleports away.
That's a pretty big pothole.
No. That's not.
Really? But he shouldn't escape there.
He returned it the moment that Tony Stark got the case.
So yeah, Loki escapes, blah, blah, blah.
Loki escapes. Tony Stark is like, shit. And then we go to Captain America, who had just gotten the staff.
Yeah.
Staff. And then old Captain comes in and is like, Loki. Hey, I found Loki. I'm really not Loki. And then they start beating each other up. I can do this all day. Yeah, I know.
And then
they fall on the ground. Our Cap uses the Mind Stone to knock out Cap from original Avengers. And he looks at his ass, and he says in the column, "That is America's ass."
And then, so anyways, that's New York.
Yeah, we'll talk about what happens to get the Space Stone after. So now let's go to Asgard. Thor, they go to Asgard when Thor: The Dark World. Was that even a movie?
Yeah, Thor: Dark World. That was a movie.
Oh, I forgot about it.
And then
everyone forgot about Thor: The Dark World. But
then that's when Thor's mother gets game ended.
Oh yeah, the day before, and it
was the day of.
No, oh yeah, and then instead of helping Rocket get the Reality Stone, he runs and tries to.
And then he finds his mother.
His mom finds him and realizes he's from the future and starts talking to him. And then meanwhile, Rocket sneaks into the room of Jane Foster, who has the Reality Stone literally inside her.
Takes it
and runs. And you can hear the guards from Asgard in the background, like, "Catch that rabbit!"
Yeah.
Instead of raccoon.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then Thor and his mom have a heart-to-heart talk. Yeah, he sticks his hand out, and Mjolnir comes to him. He says he's still worthy, and then they leave. So that's pretty much all that happened in
Asgard.
Yeah, Asgard.
Next is the Power Stone Planet.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Power Stone Planet last.
Okay, Vormir.
Let's go to Vormir. So how it happened is that
Black Widow and Hawkeye.
No. How they got there is that Nebula, Rhodey, Black Widow, and Hawkeye all traveled together, and they took a spaceship with them, and then Hawkeye and Black Widow go to Vormir. The course is already set by Nebula. So they go to Vormir. They meet Red Skull, which I kind of wanted to see Captain America
Yeah.
see Red Skull, and just to see his reaction.
I really wanted to see that, though.
Yeah.
So anyways, he does the whole thing.
Oh yeah, he does the whole thing like, you son of La, and you daughter of La. And they go up, find out that there needs to be a sacrifice. They argue for a bit. They try to find out who can commit suicide first. Eventually, Black Widow falls to her death.
She freaking, because so yeah,
yeah. And then, Power Stone. Rhodey and Nebula find, Star-Lord at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and knock him out and take the the Power Stone for themselves. But Nebula from the first Guardians of the Galaxy,
Nebula
from Endgame.
Yeah.
So they're all.
And then Thanos is like, "Ooh, woo, what is it?"
Ooh, what's that? Notices other Nebula.
Stop! You violated the law.
Yeah, and
so then blah blah blah.
2014 Nebula goes back with him instead of.
And then captures other Nebula.
Yeah.
And then interrogates that.
And then
finds out they're at Earth. Then there's like Thanos is like, Infinity Stones. Simply delicious.
Yeah, and so
they all go back to Earth, and then they're like,
and then Nebula is the 2014 Nebula.
And they're like,
so they put all the stones together in a gauntlet
cool
they
Iron
made.
Man gauntlet.
Yeah, and it's for the right hand too, so they snap like that. Hulk takes the gauntlet because he's the strongest Avenger, unlike Thor.
He does it.
He snaps. Everything's back to normal.
But then
Thanos' ship comes through the portal.
And Ant-Man's like, hey, everything's normal. It worked. And then fucking explosion.
Yeah.
Thanos
and then there's this whole final battle. Captain America lifts Mjolnir.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He lifts Thor's hammer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then a really nice scene, where, an actually really cool scene whenever, like, just the wizard portals. And all the people who were snapped come out.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then there's a big battle.
Captain Marvel comes in and destroys the spaceship.
Here's a freaking misconception. Or not misconception, discrepancy. Future Nebula shoots past Nebula.
But because they're from different timelines after they removed the stones.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about the Space Stone again.
What do you mean?
Anyway, Cap and Iron Man, after failing to get the Tesseract, go back to the 70s and get the Tesseract from Howard Stark.
They also get Pym particles.
Yeah, they also get Pym particles because they were out. And they also got enough for someone to return to put the stones back. And
so yeah, anyways, they all come back to the final battle scene.
Peter Stark.
Peter Stark.
I mean, it's pretty much Peter Stark.
I'm saying Tony Stark.
No. Peter.
So Thanos
Peter
starts
Parker.
to snap again, but
No.
Hold on.
Peter Parker activates instant kill mode, which I like.
Oh yeah, then Thanos. He doesn't want to snap half the universe. No, he just wants to snap the universe and make a new universe. One.
So he's about to snap,
and he does it fake out multiple times.
Yeah, but he's about to snap, and then Iron Man looks at Doctor Strange, who's keeping back a tidal wave of water because their base is right next to water and there's a huge crater. So he's keeping back a whole bunch of water, and then he looks at Iron Man and holds one finger up. And then Iron Man tries to grab the gauntlet, fails, and Thanos snaps.
But
nothing happens.
He needed the Infinity Stones.
And now he has the Infinity Stones.
And his own gun.
Yeah. Well, it's in his regular armor.
Yeah.
And then Thanos says he is inevitable before he tries to snap. And then Tony Stark looks at him and says, I am Iron Man. Snaps, dies.
Oh, not really like that. He
snaps and he dies. And he gets to say goodbye to Peter and Pepper.
I'm so angry he didn't say, Mr. Parker, I don't feel so good.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny, though.
But,
so, yeah, then there's, like, oh, so sad.
There's a funeral.
The kid's not that sad, it seems. The kid's just, like...
Well, yeah, but that kid is the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
The teenager kid. He's from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
So, and then, Hulk, is with, Captain America, Bucky Barnes, and Falcon. And Captain America is gonna go, to return the stones.
And he should be back in 5 seconds.
And then they look over, and he's on a bench.
He's dumb.
And then Falcon goes over to talk to him and gives his shield to Captain America. Oh yeah, Captain America is old.
Because he chose to live his life.
He chose to stay with Peggy.
Yeah.
And
the end credits are a flashback to
everything. We forgot to talk about Stanley's last.
Oh yeah, it was during the thing when they were in New Jersey.
Yeah, and he was a hippie, and they made him look like he was when he was in the 1970s. So that was really cool.
Yeah,
that was really just our review of Endgame. Let's start walking back.
No, dude, we gotta talk about how we liked it.
Yeah, we'll do that while we're walking back. What's up?
Hold up, let me get up. It takes a while for me to get up.
Yeah. So I personally really like this movie. A lot of people are saying that it's not as good as Infinity War. I completely disagree with that.
I don't think it was. I wish there was a bit more stuff, which is a lot to ask. But
a bit more. Literally everyone was there, except Baron Zemo.
I wanted more Thanos meetings.
Except Baron Zemo. But Baron Zemo, Baron Zemo got a mention. Oh, and we forgot to say the entire reason why they had to go back in time in the first place. What Thanos did is he snapped the stones into atoms.
But he took all the power. They left him like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have killed him.
Well, they killed him in like the first 5 seconds.
I know, hold up.
Thor kills him as well. Everyone that's like, what did you do? I aimed for the head.
Wait up.
But I really, really like the movie.
One thing I do wish is that, like, I wish they didn't kill Thanos, because he was just, like, farmer Thanos.
Yeah, but he still killed, like, trillions.
He technically didn't kill them.
He killed quintillions of people.
He didn't kill them, he just erased.
He erased quintillion of people. Quintillions of people. My point is that you can't do that.
Yes, Miss Cook says no to mass genocide.
Yeah.
No genocide allowed.
Okay,
So, I like the movie, it's really good. Basically, DC sucks.
And then Far From Home is going to take place literally minutes after the end of Endgame.
And, guess what? DC sucks.
Yeah, and we forgot to mention, at the end after the funeral, there's this whole message that Tony Stark recorded for his daughter and Pepper, in case he died. And he just explains that he's going to love him, he's going to miss him, he hopes they're all okay, and that he loves them 3,000. And Pepper Potts actually gets her Revenger armor. And the comic, she has an armor called the Revenge, and she wears it in Endgame. And helps him fight Thanos. Yeah, in the final battle.
Yeah, the movie was really good. This was a very unscripted review, but, you know, it was good. So, hold up. I'm gonna run across the screen. Fucking
Anyway, that's gonna be it for us, and love you 3,000.